Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Nature Patch. My name is Robyn and today is a Sunday, which means I have some time to spend out in the garden. I've got quite a few jobs to get done today, some that I really didn't want to have to do, but unfortunately they are now required. So that is dealing with the bush turkey that we still have roaming around, who is jumping into all of the garden beds that I have behind me. So Scott and I are going to be netting all of those beds today. I'm also going to be taking out the arch there, which, as you can see, it is on a very big slant. The arch was not made of really durable material and it's actually started to rust and kind of break in some areas. So the weight of the Malabar spinach that it has growing on it now is just kind of pushing it over to one side, and there's just too much Malabar spinach, we just don't go through it. So firstly I'm going to be picking a lot of the Malabar spinach and preserving it, and then taking that arch down and amending the beds to plant some other plants in it. I also have a big tray of seedlings here that I need to get onto repotting some of those. So I'm basically just going to take you around the garden and show you what I get up to today. The audio might not be fantastic on this video just because I don't have my mic on at the moment. But yeah, I need to get stuck into these garden jobs. Up with what will be quite a big bag of Malabar spinach. This will last us quite a while with the smoothies that we drink. So later on today I will take this inside and preserve it the same way that I preserve pak choi and a lot of other greens from the garden. It's basically just blanching the green in boiling water for 10 to 20 seconds or so, and then putting it straight into cold water to not let it cook anymore, and then putting it in the freezer after it dries off a little bit. So I'm going to get on to doing that side, and then I'll need Scott to help me take this arch out when he's ready. One of the reasons why I'm not letting this just keep growing in these beds and go to seed is, one, because I already have a lot of seeds left over from Malabar spinach, so seeds for me personally aren't really a thing that I want, and also because it is such a heavy feeder, it compromises a lot of the other plants in the bed by sucking up a lot of the water and nutrient. So because we are moving in a few months, I also just want to make the most out of these beds and put in some crops that grow a little bit quicker and faster, and that will produce something other than spinach, because we have a lot of spinach now, and that combined with all the other greens in the garden is just too much to keep that in there. I will definitely plant Malabar spinach again. It probably just won't be in garden beds like this, it'll be in the ground, away where it can just go wild and have its own little patch, but one plant is definitely enough for Malabar spinach. So another job that I have to do today is to collect some compost from one of the compost bins that has finished. A lot of the worms are starting to just hang around the top and kind of look like they want to get out, which kind of indicates to me that there's not a lot of food in that compost bin, and to me it looks quite done. So this is the compost back here up in the back corner. I'm just going to set you down here to see what it looks like when I take it off. The only thing though, I'm going to be standing on the other side of that fence because I have heard of brown snakes and snakes basically having their babies in compost bins, and I don't particularly want to be around any of those little snake babies, so I'm just going to be staying on the other side until I make sure that there's no snakes in there. Okay, well thankfully don't see any snake babies in there. I do see a lot of eggshells in there that haven't really broken down too well. This pile was really like a dump and leave pile, so I didn't expect it all to be fully broken down, but what I will be doing is using this material more as a mulch than a fine compost, so I might just sift through some of that now. So overall, this is what I would call a really rough compost, but to be honest I just need material to fill the beds up, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment. It's got heaps of worms in it actually, which will just keep continuing to break down the material over time. Alright, so that is that bed all nicely topped up with some fresh compost. The reason why I put it through this sieve first is to just give it a really rough sieve to get out any of the really larger sticks that may have been in the compost. So sticks like this size and any bigger aren't really going to be breaking down quickly within this bed. So all of that is going to go back into the compost that I'll be starting now with the same bin. In this bed I'm going to just let it settle for a few days, let all of those worms find their new home and incorporate into the soil below a little bit more. And then after that I will be planting some beetroot in this bed. We have successfully netted the beds and hopefully bush turkey proofed them. I will be surprised if the resident bush turkey gets into these, but also I'm not putting that possibility out of my mind. So what we used for all of the beds was just some flexible PVC piping that we cut to make half hoops, and then we've just draped over netting as best we could. I've tried to put bricks on some of the sides of the netting just so that they'll be easy to pull away, and then I can pull the net over to one side and actually work in the bed. But fingers crossed that this works for now to deter the bush turkey. This was the netting that we used. We just got it from Bunnings. It's about $30, something along the lines of that, but this is crop protection rather than bird netting. But I got this one because it will hopefully give a little bit of shade in summer and also keep the plants a bit warmer in winter. Also, when you're buying netting, the crop protection generally gives a little bit more protection from pests as well. So I've done different sizes on all of the beds. This is my salads greens bed, which was totally decimated by the bush turkey, so I'm gonna have to basically start from scratch with this one. Literally fix up the scratch that happened. This one just has my veggie pod cover over it. This has got sweet potatoes and eggplant in it. This one here was the bed that you just saw before I just put some compost down. I gave it a good mulch and water, so I'm going to let this sit for a while, but I've just put some mesh over the top of it so the bush turkey won't be able to scratch into it. This one here has my peas up the back, and I'm waiting to plant more stuff in here. And this bed has broccoli and lettuce, so hopefully this will keep out some bugs that might want to eat my broccoli. So that's about it for today. I'm really glad that we got this done. I'm now going to be adding all of my kitchen scraps into the compost bin behind me as well, so that is all set up, which is good to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed for more videos like this and all things plants and gardening. I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and until my next video, happy gardening guys. Bye!